also na wama na connect the for at say it's all kind and running at some so from the body about the na Raya can was him you be quiet obey juma kese wo memu is chono yes is a Ghana yina ya bopo ya betai ho ahwe kwan ya bitumi esino enunchi na mesu ba de we madam fo kuna abe kamepa nchi because he has some valuable money matter he has some mebefia na so the sama betu sim mama moyako baya masem oba penyi petit oba be adwuma kese am o me enunchi na suma basem me ba na ba kamo ho na kwa be faso a ye be tiano kwa no ichimi aye me baya masem chi asam kese am between now Ghana enunchi na ba masem no that so
asem we there I am one on Sunday I can Wednesday I saw me college kakra we kwai na 40 madam for citizen I'm on the sign ya to collecting me sorry quarantine no me future me the kwani mu kakra ono kwai a okotena so ono na ebubu sanse na won te sen am ka say oh yeah Atitimi yako enra mi wo ho a ba no pa beten nipa bia ba me ntanti na ba ko bia ko pe what ya asem aba asem ba ese na na ko ediko ago is it possible na me no nra ba nyame nko aneni nti ba basa me batichi mo yure me basramu mo so makoma mu oyade in her own way oyade nabrabom adetwa wo ma fefe samo hayi Ghana so asum Ghana kwan de super yen ultimate draw Ghana history wa bara ni dinishe na ne life ne ni bibia asa na esitu no we are say obiaba de na agenda na eba nyame mu obia ne gift usi sa kwa ni so na usi ni ade ube kwa kire pa ubedu ha in society odure in the making of our nation Ghana no she acquitted herself and her name is going to be etched in granite in Ghana's history. Umpo ni ho
But when someone is so energetic and someone that has lived a life that you'd call beyond legacy, for me, this woman is, I compare her to someone like Winnie Mandela.
Yes.
Stand. That's the place that I keep her. Mm-hmm. I keep her, and it's more than just a first lady. It's someone that really represents, for me, the epitome of what a woman should be.
Yes.
Simply because, in as much as she had her political initiations, and we all know that maybe she's here and you are there, she still combined that work in a way that people actually, I have a friend who said, I never really saw her with babies. Like pregnant woman with babies all over. You won't even find pictures like that. Mm-hmm. Yet she had her children, she had her family, she took care of them, and she was able to take a movement to the minutest, the smallest community, to where women that before could not even have imagined that they can leave their children with anybody else apart from maybe their mother who was alive or another family member, could now leave their child and go on their daily activities. And that for me is, if you've been a mother, especially a single mother with children, you would appreciate that than anything else. For those of us who knew her on a personal level and really have a lot of esteem for her, one of the areas that I want women to remember her with, because maybe somebody didn't know, is the role that she played in bringing up children.
Okay.
She always
could tell
would say,
she was very passionate about
Very.
bringing up children, because there was, I think, one of those controversies about her children and, you know, other issues which I wouldn't want to go into, and she was absolutely not happy about it, and she had to go every extent and every length to justify her decisions at the time.
Yes, even the last meeting I had with the last time I met her, her daughter, her granddaughter, at the meeting, was just trying to, I mean, like normal, I went to, the girl was coming there, the way she would be disciplined. Don't come in here. Okay, so nice enough. Okay, so now you can go. So come, you understand?
Yeah.
She made sure that she brought the kids. She said she didn't want to bring her children to feel like they were so privileged. So she gave them, and she was there. She was there for them.
All do know that through her 31st December Women's Movement, Ghanaian women rose to the occasion and took their pride of place, not only at the sidelines, but at the heart of our economy, at the heart of our politics. And many of us grew up watching her lead the way and, you know, show symbolically that women can do politics, women can earn their own incomes, women can own and run businesses. This was her life's work. It was sad that towards, you know, the end, she had to break away from the NDC. And I know that there are some actions that were being taken to see her possible return to her own legacy, the legacy that she built with her husband, because she was a bedrock to the former Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. So it's a very sad day for this nation. But like I said earlier, her legacy will live on, because we can't talk about anything of women empowerment in Ghana without mentioning Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. For that, she will rest peacefully knowing that she has left real major footprints.
Incidents where a close friend, a close relative may also depart. And so when such incidents take place, we often are left with grief, and all kinds of emotions run into our heads. Eventually, in many cases, the truth comes out and we come to terms with it. At this time, I've not come to terms with this truth, so I can only express my grief and my sorrow if it turns out to be true, and wish the family and all of us in Ghana and the whole of Africa really our condolences if it turns out to be true.
Doc, what principles and, if you like, moral, you know, standards of the former First Lady as a key member of the NDC are you able to most, like, you know, reflect on?
There's a lot to reflect on, a lot to be said at the right time. But her greatness has not been fully appreciated, partly because of the circumstances in which NDC lost power and the unfortunate developments that took place after we lost power, with her 31st December Women's Movement being investigated in a very unfriendly manner by the Kufuor government at the time. The fact that she had to go to court for many years, and even her late former husband, President Rawlings, also had to be in court, sometimes standing for many hours. It was a low moment in Ghana's democratic development. But NDC has won power and lost power, and we've seen at different times when the former President Rawlings was also alive, he tried to restrain himself with many of the negative things that are going on in our country and which were going on at the time he was alive. And I believe the former First Lady also was very mindful of those things. But as I said, the time will come for us to speak at length. So at this time, I'll just plead with you to allow us and the rest of the country to verify actually what has happened. And as I've said, if it is true, then obviously we'll have to mourn her in a very special way. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Some of the rules and the laws for you, the women. She must be worshipped. We must make sure that we see her funeral well organized by all of us, especially women. She did well for all of you. Nana has a legacy that no one can wash out. Never. From 1981 to date, she's been very firm, committed to the cause, not only of Ghana, but to women in particular. Not only Ghanaian women, but Africa. And we are all proud of her. She was my sister. The husband was my boss, who became my friend. We were very close. I miss her. But it had to happen. We're all human beings. Let's make sure that we organize a fitting funeral for her. That's what I'm asking. All of you.
Doc, how can the NDC build on the legacies of the former First Lady to raise the next crop of politicians in your party and, if you like, the country at large?
She left behind children. Must not get together and build those children. To take the place of the mother and the father. Generational issue. We should not feel so sad because there are children behind. What are we doing, all of us, to help the children? They've lost their parents at this tender age. They're not old, but we can help to develop legacy through the children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc.
There is a renowned Ghanaian stateswoman, the longest serving First Lady of our country's history, the founder of the 31st December Women's Movement, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, a mother who embodied all of these values and principles we have been discussing today. The values of equality, the values of tolerance, of being the voice of the voiceless, of empowerment and inclusivity. Sadly, we lost our mother. We lost that vibrant, colorful, larger-than-life stateswoman, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, yesterday. I humbly request that we all rise, consistent with the President's declaration of a 3-day of national mourning. We rise for a minute's silence in honor of her memory. May her soul and that of all departed heroes rest in perfect peace. I shall now request that the UN and Ghana flags fly at half-mast to show our respect for the memory of Her Excellency Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Her legacy of empowerment and inclusivity and her legacy of being a voice for the voiceless shall always be remembered and shall never be forgotten, forever in our hearts. Please resume your seats. I thank you very much.
The pressure is getting. Flag bearers, no one so very so I know you can pay.
When I got just so very.
Is you to you know that at the agents who says circle for.
But to do one circle for but to who is that?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
You are a Angola as one, Penibu and as one. Wow, very so still.
Debbie, okay, no one yes will be dinking.
You will go for me to for class or down for say, I dear who came more no by a cousin.
But woman in Payakada. Omani Payakada.
Oh, as I did go,
no Bayakasi.
Countless examples are. Actually, say, I'm on foot to me, mamma, fake fans, say, wow, show, you know, mirror, now show one. Well, to Musa, the own say a president.
Ah, mirror on the survey president.
We will call to Mukase, and my chair party with Indian family. The pressure is getting.
Wow. This is the campaign with all the factories, businesses we can create in the north here. You are not assuring your youth that are not working. With this land, we call ourselves poor in the 5 northern regions. With this gift God has given us. So I'm begging them, let's do clean campaign. And in the end, we all come together. You know, the last time that I responded, they have confidence to go around and say that, oh, what Kennedy Japan said, that is why we lost. But I responded to everything they said. Okay? But now I'm not saying anything. It's not good for the party. If you say that you are going to make sure you sit by the ballot box and make sure everybody votes for one person, I'm assuring you this time, if we get 0 from any constituency, we will not accept the results. I'm telling you, I am for peace, but I'm advising them that if they give 0, but you let them try and see. We are all men in this party. What you do in the north, I'll do it in the south. I want to state it emphatically because it's too much.
That is too much.
4th November 2023.
Yeah. The man here, you see, is giving the executives away. He said 4th November 2023. He voted Kennedy Japan, number 1, but I got 0.
4th November 2023.
Yeah. The man here, you see, is giving the executives away. He said 4th November 2023. He voted Kennedy Japan, number 1, but I got 0.
Can you about me? Can you about me? About me? I
Look at land administration. Courts now, over 50,000 land cases choking the judiciary, the court system. Nina corruption here. As I say, back on nipa bed at 9. No, Ubi or Lands Commission, Ubi or Survey Department, no my Canada, and that's also there. There are new technologies, blockchain, we are available. A bit more lock signing made down, won't mean tamper. And it is the political will to do the right thing. And a high. And yes, a BBA. Ghana, my casa say message Sisubio. You are practicing all the economic models from economic recovery 1, 2, palm card, hey pig. It is clear, say, and models no a high. It is a lack of implementation and enforcement of rules and regulations.
It's a matter of economists leading the country.
It's a systemic failure and leadership. How we hold ourselves accountable.
And me a businessman, me economist, me away, me away.
And
Wow, they put Uncle said, oh, Nipa Huto. It is 70%. And I said, too, about Adimano. Now, about my Ghana, near more at its own. But the Brajapa, the name dry. What the Makumaso. Now, the minimum you ask for your drip. Gonna go smile, no more time. Who be the man?
Since embarking on this journey, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has sent his message of party revival to all 11 constituencies in the Bono East region. Paying respect to the memory of one of the iconic figures of the NPP tradition, Dr. K.A. Buzia.
The pressure is getting... Flag bearers, you know. So very so I know you can pay.
When I got just so very.
Is you to you know that? I did chance you say circle for.
But to do a circle for but to who is that?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
You are a uncle Angwana Yazumadi, Penibu and Azumadi. Wow, Kirin, you so very so still.
Debbie, okay, no one has to be dinking.
You will go for me to for grass or down for say. I dear who came more, no by your cousin.
Well, Community Payakada. Omani Payakada.
Oh, as I did go, I know you would have.
No, Bayakasi, see.
Let's examine.
What an excited weekend we had with the students and all students of Maoli School. It really gave us a run for our money. You're welcome to the program. Good morning to you. This is Good Morning Ghana. And of course, by the principles of state policy, we have an opportunity to talk about the country or the nation, Ghana. And you have also an opportunity to join in, share your opinions, and let's help build the nation. Welcome to the program once again. We thank God for giving us yet another opportunity to sit here and have the strength to do our discussion. Now, before we get into other issues, we definitely will give you the headlines of the newspapers. I start off with the Daily Graphic, and it says poverty among Ghanaian pensioners high. Poverty among Ghanaian pensioners high. Champion of the girl child, Nana Kunedu's lasting legacy. Tension mounts at Basa SHTS. Parent-students protest 435,000 Ghana cedis on approved fees. Parents, students protest 435,000 Ghana cedis on approved fees. The Ghanaian Times. Street light crisis. $91 million Tema motorway road furniture vandalized 1 year after inauguration. Darkness plagues major streets, arterial roads. Free tertiary education for PWDS starts next academic year. President GIPC Regional Investment Road shows kickoff in Volta Oti region. Reverend Wengham briefs World Church leaders on upcoming Global Assemblies of God Congress in Accra. Daily Guide. Quantity surveyors call for enhanced procurement practice. Tor assets not sold for $22 million. CMSE. Minority blows alarm over unapproved government programs. Unapproved government programs. Okay, we'll get into that. But Bawumia mourns with Obing Menu. Government revokes 278 small-scale mining licenses. KGO Group Chair Alex Dade on it. The New Crusading Guide. From court victory to gunpoint eviction, Rainbow Premier Homes petitions national security over land fraud and armed invasion by one Maamiama Fukuo. Baumia's Bono East. So it's Baumia Bono East and a half a Tor sparks delegates frenzy. Tor assets not sold for $22 million. CMSE. Kofi Enum family runs from appeal in tussle over Regimano lands. Revocation of 278 licenses. Mining engineer commends excise. Warns of legal suits and political precedents. KGL's Alex Appel that day receives Forbes Best Award. And then the top right corner says, time to reform Ghana's Aviation Authority, a call for modernization and national safety commitment. The Insight. Jobs for all. Our vision, Veep assures diaspora of government initiative. Mahama unveils free tertiary education for PWDS, says initiative, an act of justice, equality. From Baghdad to Caracas, a Washington manual on sanctions and war. Months after taking full possession, Numo Kofi Enum family assures public of calm on its 918-acre Regimano lands. An executive senators international school dinner with the stars. Ghana must fully embrace AI for rapid development, says Archbishop John Adonting Boateng. Let's really look into AI. Well, I think the rush with which people are, I love AI, but the rush with which people are accepting without necessarily doing the groundwork is not the best for the country. GIPC begins regional investments roadshow in Volta and Oti regions. That's also captured on the front page of the insight. The Herald newspaper. Police council cracks over IGP's replacement as Yohunu nears retirement. 13 heavily armed Chinese illegal miners arrested in 9 months operations as 120,000 Ghana cedis bribe offer fails. Attorney General defends $2 million overpayment claim in $178 million drip contract controversy. Health Goldfields caught in operational scrutiny. National House of Chiefs mourns Nana Kunedu. The Ghanaian publisher, Bawumia sparks delegates excitement. Defense Minister appointment in Team Fojo slams Mahama's decision. Bawumia mourns with Obing Mino. KGL boss wins Forbes Award. Daily Post. Vip Opoku Ajiman unveils Feed Ghana Grow 24 initiatives at Norman Bullock Dialogue to halt food imports. We will not tolerate hair. Education Minister Harry Nedrisu issues stern warning to SHS students. GMPC reaffirms commitment to operatorship at second annual general meeting. CDEPP commends President Mahama's free tertiary education initiative for persons with disabilities. President Mahama launches free tertiary education for persons with disabilities. I saw, a post where the persons with disabilities benefited from this policy were taking pictures, and somebody wrote quite an intriguing, comment. The person said, "I am highly offended for adding the these people." Okay, I think when I remember, I'll say there are some people living with. Oh, what's their name? Okay, I remember when I probably pick it up. The person says they are not disabled, so they shouldn't add them to persons living with disability. And I was, it got me thinking. The albinos, yes, I remember, the albinos. The person said albinos are not persons living with disabilities. And I was wondering, okay, are they or are they not? I don't know. Because at some point, they lack certain abilities. So don't they live with disabilities? Or they don't? I don't know. I think that's a little controversial. Let's go on to the Custodian newspaper. It says that Bono, East and Ahafo NPP delegates root for Bawumia. KGL Group Chairman wins Forbes Corporate Leadership Award. And then we also have appoint Defense Minister now in Team Fojo to Mahama. Anodon Pre promotes legacy in Nsawam Adrejui. Plaintiff withdraws appeal in Regimanuel Gray land case. Bawumia joins Obing Meno to bury late father in Brekum. Okay, Obing Meno, condolences to you and the family. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll talk.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile. Calkit. Happy smile.
Chechi amuni nara mi ding eje baby dapa mi di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mu ama waduane e dapa na me de bremo eno eni se ubenya ne edi kunkwan mu edi kufuro ye mu down no ye communication to ni go enjoy oduba that Samu spices one in the essence no time I think it Daliaga Samu spices in asa abi daddy so say Samu spices mun Samu spices nyama chicken Samu spices In
Sanaka in Ketwa, measure 10 grams. Your chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, and jollof, and the flavors of Fodobebre.
Samu spices, yes, Saka.
FDIJ Jadien Kratoyatum.
Andesaba, and what more did ma and came Guana Moba.
Oh, who said, and I made the SMS. Cannon pan, na sana Michiana Wademi. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Bitters.
No, benefit him.
Me benefit wine. Also, got told dear.
Abrewa, the smile, I brent me shuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules.
Assembia, you.
A devil when I'm when I say. Send your name, my wife, company one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say, see, I'm persuaded.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. Emeni Genia sum debefi abrebia. Obebia o de poa how no. Edro bakupa we hiane tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Esiesie uma wo ye obesima. Enro yi ubenya bi obebia ye ton robia. Kingdom Herbal. No challenger.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from to be luckiest. From not the pure cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
God Kwamio!
Senya God Abu Boom! If you put it at so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey! Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
So long as we are molding character, if we give it to her today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GS, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest. The school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and we will not tolerate that as an institution. Tobe Chairman, there is a lot of growing indiscipline in our schools, some even with teachers abusing learners. We would not accept that. We would apply heavy sanctions to any teacher who wants to take advantage of a learner. And to the students, you only can walk away from Mauli School with two values: discipline and integrity, and the future is yours.
Okay. You're welcome back to the programs. Good morning, Ghana. Shamima Muslim is already with me here in the studio, Deputy Presidential Spokesperson. Shamima, you're welcome, and good morning to you.
Good morning, Annie.
You're looking good.
Thank you,
You
my
haven't been here
darling.
in a while.
In a while.
Are you
in
working?
a while. Very much.
Because this work, I want to do the same work.
Which one?
What you're doing now?
Say you're coming
You're
now.
glowing, you're glittering.
Oh. Is Is that where you're going with
glowing, you're brightening,
it's been quite an interesting couple of weeks. I think that I experienced new things in the role. You would recall that when the president traveled to U.S. for the UN General Assembly, and the chief of staff was also there with him, Mr. Julius Debra, and good morning to all presidential staffers, and of course our boss, the president. He's such an energetic man, it's not even funny. So whilst they are away, there were a lot of speaking engagements that were referred to me. So I went to Tamale and in Accra, quite a couple of them. So that was also quite a new experience for me, you know. I'm standing in for my bosses.
You wore big shoes.
Yes, and presenting keynote speeches. So I was quite busy doing those things. And of course, I had opportunity also now to have my first real international, you know, trip with the president. Just I think a week or 2 weeks ago, when we traveled to China for the Beijing conference, 35 years on, since 1995. President Xi hosted an international conference to review progress and to develop new benchmarks.
It was a government assignment. You took it personally.
Oh, yes. You know, I've been journaling about my whole political transition experience. And many who have done these things, perhaps they don't look out for the things that I keep looking out for, you know, as a newbie, as my friends from the other side often want to call me. But there are profound experiences that are shaping my thoughts about the place and the nation building and what we really need to do. You know, from simple things, the privileges that come with a position, and which privileges must really humble all of us. You know, I was just, this morning I was saying that if you're someone who is quite possessive and you want to rid yourself of your possessiveness, perhaps politics is where you should find yourself, because you don't own the things that come to you at all. And you shouldn't begin to feel like you should appropriate those things. So there's a lot of benefits that come with the position. Those benefits should shape our hearts and minds to actually deliver on the social contract, you know, because for me, even when I was in the media, one of my biggest challenges was the fact that we haven't seen the transformation we should see. Given the numbers of our leaders who travel every day to other people's lands and see what leadership has done and achieved in those lands, that we enjoy their roads, we enjoy their infrastructure, we see their progress, and then we come back home and fold our hands and do nothing to negotiate better. You know, one of the most profound moments was when we were driving through the streets of Beijing, and even when we traveled to another city and visited the Fujian province, I could see greenery. This is China. You know, I could see greenery all over.
I'm sure you were shocked.
Trees in the city center, in the medians of the streets were beautiful flowers. You know, and when we went to this province, everywhere they had trees. In the middle of the street, in the medians, were trees and flowers. And then later they did tell us that the city development was quite deliberate about what they wanted to do, you know, and that their investments in clean energy is making them now the 4th city within the China region that has that is almost going green in terms of, you know, using renewable energy. 65% of their energy mix is renewable energy. They have some of the 65%. Water quality highest in China in that particular city. And the president had visited Fujian before 15 years ago. You know, and so we did go there and we visited a number of industries and you know, companies that were in different areas in technology, which the president is really trying to push, as well as pharmaceuticals, and we visited a company of some person who is highest investor in Ghana. So to see that Ghana is prospering, a company and creating livelihoods for people in other countries through investments in Ghana. And we sit in Ghana, and even the average Ghanaian is unaware of the opportunities. So we can't fail the people, you see, because if we know better, we should do better. If we see how well others have, turned their economies around, we should also do better. And that is why everything the president does is not an accident, because as we went through the experiences, I saw the place of infrastructure for every country's takeoff. And if we really are to take off, infrastructure has to be key. And so now I understand why the president in his first term even was very insistent in making investments in infrastructure. Hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure.
I want to believe he's taking inspiration from Singapore. Having gone to Singapore recently, and a lot of ideas that were picked from Singapore in education, in infrastructure, in business as well, of course, because he went for the Singapore African Business Summit. And then China, of course, China is closer to Singapore, but I think because of the date schedule of the Beijing conference, then of course they had to come back to Ghana before going to China subsequently. But it is, revealing that you see that a lot of the leaders travel, and sometimes it has been my thought and my concern and my worry and my confusion. When we travel, why do we travel? Yeah. Is it for just summit and come and sit down and fold our arms?
That would be a loss.
Exactly.
That would be a complete waste of the taxpayers' money. If we embark on these trips and we learn no lessons at all, So I'm inspired that at least the leadership the president is providing is in the right direction. Because immediately he came back, the levels of coordination we are seeing through his various policies. He went to Takoradi last week to cut sword for the dualization of the Takoradi Cape Coast Road. He visited ongoing projects as part of his program to visit existing projects and to complete projects that were started, by the previous administration as a commitment to the taxpayer, because it is unconscionable that we would invest monies in projects and, new governments will come and abandon those projects. So the president is on this tour himself, and one of the indicators of commitment is showing up. And every day this president shows up. He shows up in person, he shows up through programs, he shows up through projects. And when he returned from Takoradi, he went to now launch the Ghana infrastructure, plan, a 30-year plan on how to really reset Ghana's infrastructure base, whether it's roads, whether it's railways, whether it's the ports. These are the investments that tend around economies that we often refer to, not the European and the Americas, but the third world nations that were able to pull themselves literally from their, bootstraps to today compete, respectfully in the Committee of Nations. And today, if you even look at China, the complex railway systems, and those were some of the subjects for the bilateral conversations that His Excellency had with the President of China, as well as even the Premier. And then when we went to this province, we did meet the governor as well. And so it is time for us to invest in the necessary infrastructure that should help us turn this nation around. And so when the president says that he's ready to reset Ghana, what he requires from all of us really is a commitment to also do our parts as citizens, because the nation building that we want is a process that involves both your leaders and you, the people. And you, the people, must also be interested to meet your side of the bargain, because sometimes the conversations around social media and the excessive partisanship around everything is so debilitating and counterproductive. You know, this morning I was listening to the one radio station whilst I was on my way here. When a government announces a program or a policy, even if you disagree, your disagreement should be shaped around alternative views that you think we can solve the problem. Because when you communicate a problem, we must have a certain mentality of solutions. But if we keep condemning every action of a government that is meant to solve an issue, like this education thing, and I know we'll go into the education. So they were like, what do you mean by local, teachers should use L1, which is a mother tongue, as a medium of instruction for early grades. And that, is it everybody who understands the mother tongue? And yet you know that the research has shown that if you are able to use the language a child understands in the early grade to explain simple concepts, they are more grounded in the learning and in the concepts. Then a big journalist goes like, how do you go and teach chemistry in local language?
Oh, it was a journalist that was making the comment.
There is a morning show. That how do you go and teach chemistry in a local language? And that, do we even think through these things? These are not contested matters. To use a language a child understands, to teach the child, are not contested matters. They are established, matters with regards to the right ways of inculcating knowledge. Now, does it mean that every teacher in every school might understand the local language? No. But it is a policy that we must implement. And we must start from somewhere. So start with the teachers that understand the local language in the early grade, and let those teachers use the local language in and it's not like that's what they're going to use alone. They're teaching English, they're teaching other subjects in English. But when you explain a concept in English, you must explain it also in the dominant language that the students or the pupils or the learners in that class also understand. So please, if we really want to build this nation, we must quickly switch our mindset to solutions offering, rather than pointing out all the ways in which an idea cannot work. Otherwise, it's almost like we are betting against our own country. And by so doing, betting against even we who are on the side of pessimism rather than optimism. So, this morning I say greetings to all of us, and also greetings to the family of Madam Hawa Mahama Ajiman. Over the weekend, the President's sister, the President and the First Lady, Madam Lordina Mahama, went and commiserated with the family of the husband of their sister, Madam Hawa Ajiman, as she laid her mother-in-law, the late Madam Dora Ochiri Akosa, to rest in Jamase, in Kumasi, Ashanti region. So we were all there to support the First Lady and her husband, support her own in-law to do that. And so we extend our condolences yet again to the family of Madam Dora Ochiri, as well as the wife of Mr. Ajiman, Hawa Mahama herself, for the work she did to bury her mother-in-law. And as we talk about funerals also, today the presidency led by the vice president will be visiting the home of the former First Lady, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings, to commiserate with the children on their profound loss. And the nation remains in mourning. The president did announce a 3-day national mourning where all flags were to fly at half-mast. And the president also, in that declaration instrument, invited all of us as citizens to think about what our contribution to our own society would be, what will be said of us when our time comes and we transition to the other side. What will be the legacy? Because love her or hate her, Ghana's history can never be written without, copious pages dedicated to the life and times of the former First Lady, the longest, serving First Lady
Did you get the chance to read her
of
book?
Ghana.
It Takes a Woman.
It Takes a Woman, yes.
You've
I've
read
read it. I've met her several times whilst I was a journalist. Even before I became a journalist was when I met her for the first time. And her legacy is indeed profound. I think that the work she did to empower Ghanaian women can never be underestimated. And the work she also did to promote the education of girls. We grew up in the 80s, 90s, listening to a national campaign on sending the girl child to school. And today, the results of that singular transformative action are there for all to see, where at the lower primary level, we have attained parity, where girls have now even outstripped, boys in our primary schools. That is profound. If you look at how the entrepreneurial spirit of the Ghanaian woman was unleashed, then many Ghanaian women were happy to be housewives. Those who had some level of education would find themselves as nurses, as teachers, in the civil service. But the real entrepreneurship spirit of the Ghanaian woman, was unleashed in the period of the 31st December Women's Movement that organized women around economic activity. So we would see on television she visiting Gari processing, communities and making women into cooperatives so that they can work together. The light equipment that she saw to them having to help them, reduce the processing times. In the northern region, many women went into shea butter. The shea butter industry started then into shea cooperatives, smock weaving, even cotton wool, and making yarns from cotton wool. These were all vocations that women were engaged in, and it was her leadership that began to make women see the economic value of the vocations they were already involved in. And that today, when we count nations with the highest number of women entrepreneurs, Ghana always is in the top 5 according to the MasterCard Foundation. So truly, it is sad that things happened the way that they did, which saw her out of the fold of the NDC. But as the NDC has stated in its press release, to commemorate and to honor her legacy, she remains a founding member of the NDC. She was a stalwart, true and true, standing with and by her husband to lead Ghana through a very difficult, period, the PNDC era. Still stood by her husband throughout the transition into democracy and all the great work she did. I think Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings is a heroine, and her task is done, and she has transitioned, but her legacy will live on. And we must all, as women, as politicians, draw the necessary lessons from her life, her story, her challenges even, and see how we are able to overcome what might be daunting challenges that we face, but how to remain grounded and how to protect, legacies that we struggled to build. So I'm sure, together with the family, the state would ensure she receives a very befitting farewell, the details of which would be communicated as and when they're agreed upon. So once again, to Senator Amina Yasantua Kimathi, we know you're grieving very much, and our hearts are with you. We can't begin to imagine the profundity of the loss that you have now suffered as children who have now lost their very iconic parents, both father and mother. But we know that the lessons and the upbringing that they've given you, the values of strength and resilience that your parents, exuded, are the same that will guide you through this very dark moment. And we know that you would all continue with their legacy. So, Demifa Due to the family of Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings.
Right. Okay, I want to take a break, but Laura Timosisaka has joined us, a member of the NPP and a member of the National Communications team. You're welcome. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the program. We want to have a comment about Nana Kunedu before we take a breather?
I met personally, but as a female, if I may, you can't talk about women empowerment, women rights in this country without her name. Today we are talking about having working women being able to take their children to their workplace and be comfortable to concentrate after maternity leave. But that concept came with her when they were putting up those schools in the markets, was it the kindergartens or the crèche in the market? So our mother school still have their children in school and still be able to sell their wares. You talk about Beijing conference, you can say that without her name. Another one that stood out strongly was PNDC Law 111, Interstate Succession Law. With all the issues that were happening after spouse's death and all that. So for her, it's a life well lived. We are all benefiting from some of the efforts she championed. And we are all benefiting from the... What? Is there a problem?
So okay. I think I'm being communicated to about something on sound. So I'm sorry, I will just take a quick bit. When I come back, then you can have your word. We're back shortly.
Start your Kids Day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocates Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking Publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach.
Now, Mr. Friendly once now.
Hey, that's you. Impruka. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasa.
Come on, Tom Preco.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enko ye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oh you why? Enye mo ko. Give us GC lecture and the capsules. You num boom and what some na mo kana. E bua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be bua wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya ne nim tisese ne wo yi chokmo. GC mixture and then a capsule.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one kwada when if you do me
my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Chaco toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Chaco toothpaste. Kel Chaco toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Symmetra Sapapadia to a mammy mouthful. Kel Chaco's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, and manis swing, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will bedroom.
Kel Chaco toothpaste.
Choose Kel Chaco toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80-gram and 150-gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Stars everyone to hush, stars everyone to hush. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 #. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Welcome back to the program. I have Shamima, still have Shamima Muslim with us, Deputy Presidential Spokesperson, and also Larati Musa Saka, who also joined us. You were speaking before our sound,
Before you took my sound.
I didn't take your sound.
You didn't even give me sound. Hey, Annie. That started early today. Anyway.
what started?
As I was saying, with regards to former First Lady, it's a life well lived. She's paid her dues. Condolences to the family. Like I said earlier, I never met her personally, but we are all benefiting from some of the things she championed. You can't talk about women and girls' rights in this country without mentioning her name. You can talk about Beijing Conference, now 35 years, without mentioning her name. She really stood in the gap for women and girls in this country. One that also stood out greatly was PNDC Law 111, Interstate Succession Law. So she's paid her dues. She's done what any First Lady and any woman interested in the empowerment of fellow women and girls. And now, like I said earlier too, we are now finding ways to get mothers, working mothers, be with their children or still have their children educated and still be on the job. That was one of the concepts that was used by the 31st December Women's Week when they had the schools within the markets, so that our mothers could still ply their trades and still have their children educated. So, condolences once again to the family. It's a mother that her children should be proud of, and a family member that her family should be very proud of. And we are all proud, especially those of us sitting around this table. We're all benefiting from some of the things.
Yes, there's something that happened with her that politically might not feel so good for the party she came from or she emerged from, or the party she was a founder of, and that is she becoming an icon for both sides of the two main leading political parties, the NPP and the NDC. She was an icon in the NDC, and then eventually she metamorphosed into something else where the NPP also now began experiencing her. She related to them beautifully. Most of the times you see her with either the First Lady or the Second Lady, Samira, and they had such a good vibe, together. And no matter how you would see it, it was a beautiful sight to behold that, okay, how do you even do this? As a woman, she was in a family where her husband was the head of a political party. She herself was the head of another political party. Her children, were torn between, okay, either I want to be here or I want to be there, but at the same time, supports my mother. She was a woman.
Honey.
She was indeed a woman.
Political parties are not religions. Political parties are not lineage. They are not ethnic groups or what defines you fundamentally as a human being. The associations we join by virtue of what we believe in and by virtue of what we aspire to be and the contributions we want to make to our society or our nation. Mm-hmm. Her husband founded a party. At a point, she felt she had paid her dues enough and could lead. And we are talking about things that she championed that we're all benefiting from. So she thought she was in a good position to lead. Her party thought, or her husband's party thought otherwise. I think that she showed what she believed in. She showed a principled position. She showed resilience. And she wasn't the first person, or wouldn't be the first to have left a political party based on what she believes in to form another. Prior to her, there was NRP. Before that, there was Dr. Obeda Samuel's group, then her. So, NPP, CPP, PNC, they've also have their own fair share of people leaving based on difference in opinions and difference in principles to say. So she stood for what she believed in. But I mean, with all that she had championed, she was someone that anybody aspiring to be a first lady or to champion the growth of women.
Aspiring to be a first lady.
Yeah, definitely.
When we were growing up, I used to say that because she was a first lady, I used to say I want to be a first lady.
Exactly. So
and then when she
that's an interesting
started doing different things, I said,
aspirations.
but I can also do the politics. You don't have to be the first lady to do the politics.
Wow.
So she shaped dreams.
Yeah, so
that's true.
For her, for people wanted to aspire to be presidential candidates and all that, she was someone that you need to learn. I mean, people may have their own reservations, but there's no human being without a but. We are human. We are not perfect. But fundamentally, what she stood for and what she championed, we are all seeing the benefits. And the best we can do is add on and make it better. So
I had the rarest opportunity to interview this woman. That time I was with GN.
Okay.
So I had a one-on-one with her, and guess what? Like before she actually agreed to come for the interview, she requested that we have breakfast after the interview.
It's the best approach too.
Breakfast
before,
especially with you.
I'm telling you,
person needs to know you before.
Yes. So we had breakfast. And at the time we were at Coconut Grove Hotel, Dr. Ndum's place. So it was actually greatest for me because...
GN is for Dr. Ndum, right?
Yes. So they provided us with a breakfast. And you know, at the time when you go to Coconut Grove, they have this poodle, these little dogs, with all of fur on them. You know, she came and the dogs, they are very friendly. No, I'm not. No. Am I? No, I'm not. The dogs are friendly. The Shamina, stop looking at me. I'm not teary. You know, I'm actually looking up to the first daughter. What's her name? Zenato. And I like the strength she's holding up. She's really carrying the family. She's a strong personality. If she's not crying, I don't have the right to. So I'm looking up to Zenato. You know, and the whole time we're having a breakfast, she was playing with the dogs. So of course, as a journalist, I will be looking beyond what I just want to get out of her, and you'd see that she is also a very homely woman. So she had that side of, I'm homely, I'm a woman, I am playful, I have that side of me. You probably won't see it on the outside all the time because
that's not what she's
exactly on the outside she was fighting for something different. So just people who probably didn't get the opportunity, and sometimes the stories you hear about persons like that, nobody's perfect anyway. So some of the things you heard, true or untrue, she also had a very beautiful side. If you got the chance to associate with her.
Every human being on this earth has a beautiful side.
Yeah.
It's that side you choose to see that you see. Look, there are lots of stories about her. Probably think you had your own perception about her before you met her.
Yeah.
But meeting her, encounter, that's why I always say that when you hear things about people, if you can't attest to them, be careful how you swallow them hook, line, and sinker. We come and sit on set. There are people who don't know us from Adam. They have their own perceptions about us. Some even go as high as saying they hate people they've never even met before. By virtue of the fact that he said something that didn't go down well with them.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of...
And to use the word hate.
Yeah, that's the kind of... Someone you've never met and may probably not meet in your lifetime. You know, so we have all kinds of perception about people because of what we believe in and what we seem to be the kind of person, whoever. But every human being has a good side and a bad side. It's the side you choose to see that you see. And there are lots of stories about her, but you met her. You have a different perception about her now. You are talking about your encounter with her and you're almost teary, you know. So you can imagine the stories her children have about her. People can say things about you and sometimes you wonder, is that me? You're sitting down there and someone is talking about you and you're wondering, is that me? Sometimes people will let you question your own being, but if you're not strong, if you don't really know who you are and believe in what you stand for, some of these things can get you off course. So we just need to. She's worth celebrating, and the
She
state
is
doing that. You've seen former presidents. I've seen videos of former President Kufuor giving very recounting fond memories with her and how he saw her just the day before. Yes.
I'm sure Kufuor would have been.
When it comes to losing a loved one, there's never an easy one. I mean, people will be around and all that, but when everything is said and done, barrier and everything, even for you Christians, it takes a bit of time. But for us Muslims, in less than 48, 24 hours, the person is already buried. Everyone is gone, and it's you and your emotions. So we can only pray for them, pray for strength for their children and other family members. The hardest hit to be the children. They've lost their mother, they've lost their father. These are very big shoes to fit, and we pray that God gives them the grace and the strength to be able to fill them.
So, may her soul continue to rest in peace. That's a beautiful picture. This picture has been one of the lasting trending pictures ever. It was, I don't know who the photographer was, but well arranged. It was only Kimapi that was not part, but it was a beautiful picture. Princess, that's the Otunfo's daughter, was also part. Just in case you're confused with the girls, she was also in that picture. Anyway, so let's do education, and maybe before we go into the main issue, I want to congratulate Maoli School. I bow. I give it to you.
It choked. They choked us proper.
What?
We couldn't breathe. Well done to them. Well done to them.
Like they painted Ghana like my dress.
Right now we are resetting even school anniversary celebrations. Have you seen the competition that is happening now with regards to?
For this one, I don't know anything
but
about
it's true. Look at it now. Everything is being reset. Everybody is undergoing renewal, revival.
So this one too, you are taking into the reset
time. I'm not taking. Is it not self-evident by what's been happening?
Going on.
I'm saying there's this renewed vigor. There's this new competitiveness. Well, if you can't feel it, I felt it. It's fine if you don't feel it. I have felt the new energy around it. I'm saying that it's become quite competitive. Now, the dressing, the entire, people are like curating. This is not how school anniversary celebrations were a couple of years ago. Please, let us be honest to the fact. I didn't say suddenly.
It changed in 2025?
I didn't say suddenly. You are using suddenly. I'm saying that everyone is resetting. And I think I'm allowed to use whatever vocabs I want to use. Yes, anniversary celebrations are being reset. It is also bringing us to the point of the role of old students in reinvigorating the spirit of their school mottos, and I'm happy that in the past, you see, we will even get a lot of people showing up. So many people are showing up back in their schools and inspiring these young people, showing them what is possible.
How did you contribute to that? How did your government contribute to that?
Oh, have I appropriated anything
but you're saying
this
that
morning?
So
there was no reset before NDC. The word reset didn't exist.
It did.
The word reset didn't exist. So let's not belabor the point. So you yourself brought this matter up, and you yourself showed how excited you were. I said the mood has changed. This year,
all of a sudden,
Holy Child anniversary, Wesley Girls anniversary, the dressing. I was on platforms. Hey. The energy that's now going, it was not even every year.
Even Holy Child wasn't just this year.
Oh my darling, is it not anniversary? Is it not anniversary?
You are Wesley Girls, right?
Wesley Girls.
Okay.
But I mean, the bigger picture is really how old students are getting involved, and I think this is what was being reduced, in the past structure, where we reduced the power of the old students and we reduced, literally took away powers from the PTA teachers, as well, Parent-Teacher Association, because the work of raising a child and teaching a child cannot be only a government responsibility, in all fairness. And so we need to have all stakeholders. All students have played significant role in the infrastructure gap that have existed in, their schools. And we should not discount that. We have to find more proactive ways and more productive ways that all students can support the learning outcomes in their schools. And, these kinds of visuals are truly inspiring indeed. Truly inspiring.
So I am in the second. I attended Nifa Secondary School. And Shamima is Holy Child. My sister is Holy Child.
And non-verbal.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, you guys are ladies.
And
I respect
baby girls are here.
Why do you call them baby girls?
That's how they call them. I don't know why.
Yeah, because Mauli is piglets, right? Baby girls.
Why they call them that?
Wesley girls. They say you're baby girls.
She doesn't know
whatever that means.
They were always, posturing. When we went for inter-schools, you find them always being extra. And being they don't socialize. They will always just
somebody eats for them.
Before me.
They don't eat themselves.
Nobody criticizes. Okay. Nobody criticizes something that is not good. So I can understand where Shamima is coming from.
Something that's not good.
Come again.
Something that's not good.
Yeah, nobody pays attention to something that's not
good.
We are the best.
You guys are
good. They are good.
We are the best. There's no doubt about that. The three.
Is the road minister also from Mauli School? Let me know. Or he just went there. He's a Maulian. Oh,
perhaps.
He just attended. Because I know the education minister just went because he's education minister.
Of course.
But road minister, I don't know. I mean, Maulians, you can add them. I don't know if you're watching. In fact, Ben Dochemalo. So I wrote their names. Ben Dochemalo, Stan Dogbe, Winston of Joy News.
Winston went to Mauli.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did. Ludwig Lodge.
Okay.
Former staffer, presidential staffer.
Elsie went.
Elsie as well. Yes, I didn't write Elsie. Elsie as well. Elsie. South Dine MP, Roxanne Nelson, the family
was not a joke.
Ben Dochemalo, of course, Deputy Ambassador now. Richard Nyako. Richard Nyako is their president. I want the picture of Richard Nyako.
Went to Mauli.
Because I don't know what happened this week. This celebration.
Annie,
no, that's
Annie. In the spirit of the
lawyer.
In the spirit of the research.
One of your lawyers, Shamima, look at him on the screen. What's his name?
Adaudu.
Kojo Adaudu.
Annie.
So, yes.
In the spirit of the research Shamima is talking about,
Richard is their president.
There's nobody in opposition that went to Mauli. Because all the names you have mentioned are people in government.
Who is in opposition?
I didn't go to Mauli. You are the one giving. You are the one doing the roll call.
Okay, so I
didn't even
okay, so I wrote the names per the people I saw
on her timeline.
Yes, the people I saw. So that's standing there.
It's quite interesting.
Sitting there with them laughing.
They are what, 75 years old?
75 years.
Okay,
75 years.
A very young school.
Can you give me Richard's picture? Their president, the old students' president. Because we want to specially congratulate him. No.
So was it the whole Old Students Association, or it was a year group?
It was.
Because we do.
It was
by
because it's 75 years. All of them.
No, but for us, every a year group sponsors. Every year.
So that's.
I mean, everybody is involved, but
is that okay? I think that's the president. There's the picture. You, the producers, I think you already have that.
That's what usually happens every school.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. But they've done well.
It becomes a bigger home.
Congratulations to them.
So that's Togbe shaking hands with, I think, the president. Yeah, Richard Nyako, that's his name. Oga, we salute.
Oga,
we salute. I don't know how the organization was put together. I don't know how you guys planned it.
It's social media now.
The social media took over. The vibe was just catching everywhere. In fact, at some point, I didn't know what was happening. So I asked on social media, why is Mauli School trending? And then people came to tag me with the 75 years. And then I saw Dochemalo also writing a few things. I thought, oh, okay. Then before you know, the thing had caught fire everywhere. Okay, so that's also Jerry Ajololo, one of the finest MCs in the country. He's a member of my church.
I see.
Yes. So he was also there. and that's Winston, also there, and all students of Joy News, actually, of Mawuli School. Guys, congratulations. 75 is good. Yeah. Yes.
Pretty young.
You did. Hey, how old are you?
My school was started in 1836.
Hey, sorry.
So do the math.
That's Elsie. That's Elsie out there. Yeah, well, I heard about her. I heard about the things she did. Some of the pictures I can't even put.
She's part of the executive.
Also, I don't know.
She was even a member of their council, governing council.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay. So well done. I mean, a lot of the schools have done their celebrations. We saw pictures and stuff, but this one, there was something.
Don't over-exaggerate now.
Yeah, I've just
because I didn't see it. So.
Sorry? Maybe they've not been doing it annually. So this time when they went the extra
you didn't
mile.
See what?
No, like you talking about a trend. Honestly, I didn't.
You didn't see
it
trending?
actually.
No. Maybe because of the people on my timeline. Oh, I'm being very
you didn't
honest
see it on
with
your
you.
timeline at all?
No.
On Twitter, I mean X.
No, I don't really do
on Facebook.
Twitter. Facebook, I just scroll and I did.
And it didn't come on your timeline?
No, I don't remember seeing it.
No.
But congratulations to them.
Congratulations. I think you did a good job.
I think green and yellow too is quite...
goes well.
Those are colors too. I don't know about the brown and yellow people, but is it brown and yellow?
Yeah, it's brown and yellow.
Yeah, brown and yellow. Green and yellow really stands
Ours is green and white.
Oh, okay.
Is it green?
So they're all F colors.
Have you celebrated
Without
anything?
the brown, the green will not thrive. We plant on brown and nourish into green.
Hey, what are you
That
saying?
is the essence.
Sharima, this morning the mathematics you are doing.
It's science.
It's not adding
It's
up.
pure science. The soil that you plant on, the foundation of life is soil.
It's brown.
Without soil, you labor in vain. So your green is built on the solid foundation. So that's why Holy Child, our color is brown. It's the essence of.
Is that the explanation they gave you in school, or you are?
It's my own explanation. This early morning. Don't worry, my love.
If you don't have green, forget it.
Oh God.
Brown and yellow, sunlight. Without the soil and without sunlight, photosynthesis will not happen. You will not see chlorophyll if you don't have light and you don't have soil.
Is that what
Chlorophyll
it stands
will
for?
not happen.
Is that what the color stands for according to the school? Or you are giving them a new? No, but I mean,
Lawyer
what does
Kojoga
your green
Adawood,
stand
good morning to you.
What does your green stand for?
I haven't started giving
What
it
does your contemporary stand for? What does your contemporary stand for?
Green. It comes from green.
Only child needs to come and see you for the branding because this
Oh
is
my
serious.
goodness. Okay. So I just let me just say happy birthday to the former member of parliament for Mion constituency, Mohammed Abdul Aziz, and also he was deputy. He is actually deputy administrator, Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications. Mohammed Abdul Aziz, honorable. Happy birthday to you this morning, and I hope you're doing well. Okay. So we'll use this opportunity to zoom in. Halidu says that the word debo means, oh, I'm not going to say it.
Bad word.
Yes, it's a very bad word. Yeah. It's a very bad
That's why my sister was not minding me.
What is debo?
It's a terrible word.
Yeah, I've never even
I'm
heard
not
debo.
going to say it. I'm not going to say
I've
it.
never heard debo.
You said it today.
I thought it was a slang that we
I've never heard
It's a
debo.
bad slang.
You may have it wrong,
please.
and I'm not the one to
It's
correct
not,
you.
is it not bebu?
It says, is what?
Is it bebu?
It's
Eh?
debo. Good morning. Good morning, Annie.
It's
From
way
former First
again.
Lady.
70
Wesley
years
Girls High
Okay,
School. That's
Seth has sent me a
what
message.
the
Let me
voice
just read this quickly. Seth, he says that former First Lady Nana Rajaman Rawlings is dead, and all of a sudden NPP saying good things about her. The schools that are established in the markets and elsewhere that Laratu mentioned, the Kufuor administration withdrew all the teachers because they were being paid by the CAGD. She also tried to tried over frivolous bribery allegations. Now, also a loan the movement had contracted from China was seized by Kufuor's administration. It took the law court to make a pronouncement in her favor. Seth is the one that's sending me this story. I don't actually know about that. But Obi Menu also, having lost your father, condolences to you and the family. We hope God will grant you the strength that you need. Yes. I know from Afenia says that let's encourage discipline in our schools and stop the unnecessary debate of haircuts. We go to school to learn and not display beauty, period. Let's cultivate the good things of the Westerners and not the bad ones. Mr. President, PSC Tema Shipyard is still reminding of our board. Or they don't have a board. Okay.
President of a board?
Yes. It's another strategy. I'll read a message and then remind the president of the board.
Because this is not the last time I was here, we read the same message.
Of the board, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think they keep repeating it.
Shamima is here.
Right. Now, Shamima will take it up.
Which board?
Tema Shipyard.
And Dry Dock.
But does it have to take messages through a morning show to remind the president?
Well...
Who are you asking that question to? To the president or to the text?
To the person who is sending the text.
Okay, let's do education before we get to AG. So, it has been a trend on social media. Just briefly, haircuts, ladies or students' haircuts, or they should keep their hair, or it is a colonial ideology, so we should just move away from that. The Minister for Education, Harry Naduso, has made a pronouncement on it. He said every girl in the SHS will go with a short hair. That's because we want to maintain discipline. He used the word discipline. We have the video. We can play it later. And so it is what it is. It has been, directive has been issued across board, and so there's no debate anymore. There are still people who came out to, still argue that out, that, Mr. Minister, you lost it. It's not about beauty contest. It is just a colonial ideology that we're carrying in on. Is it, or has it benefited us in any way? And some have also asked the question that, when the girls kept their hair short, how has it benefited us so far? After when we ever started doing this practice. There's also the debate on using the first mother tongue language, as the instruction language in the classrooms. And that also has been a point of argument. He says every school from today is doing that, is supposed to do that. So if the teachers don't know the first language of the students, I don't know how they're actually going to do it, because some of the students come from very different backgrounds. So how are we going to use first language as the instruction language in the classrooms that everybody will have to understand? Or it depends on your location or regional location. In Accra, are they going to use Obake? Or in the Eastern region, are they going to use Marching, Meba, and things like that? And then in the Volta region, are they going to use Volta, what's that? Wezo. Some of the languages. And you go to the north, Lara, to help me. What's the commonest, maybe, I don't know, something you say in the language?
Maraba.
Welcome. Okay.
But the north is different.
The north is different.
So that's for Gonja.
So from your side, it's...
You say near Yahe. Welcome.
Welcome.
That's all Wala?
Yes.
That's Wala.
That's Wale.
Wale, sorry.
Wale. Hey, let me greet my husband, the one now. One now, people. And smile, no, 1 year. And also to Yarena and the Wale man. We could not pull here, Mbala Nieja, say, can we pull him?
Today, please, Lara, you and I, we are one.
I'm one housewife. Don't joke with me.
Today, Lara,
otherwise we'll all be recorded.
You and I were one. I mean, did you see the love in her eyes when she was speaking?
But she said her husband.
She's my husband. When we went to campaign, he told the president, when we went to he told president that this is his wife. He better take very good care of her.
Oh, goodness. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alaji. I hope Alaji is watching.
Alaji, we greet you.
If this is a marriage, Alaji
I said I hope Alaji is watching. Why are you explaining yourself?
Alaji, my show is not a love show. So when we close, I'll come and see you. Thank you very much. Anyway, so back to
yes,
business. Yes.
Education.
Yes, please, Laura too. Sorry.
The educational reforms were at the heart of the manifesto And if you recall, His Excellency President Mahama had indicated that one of the first things he was going to do is to put together the National Education Dialogue, which happened very early on in his administration. So this very broad-based consultative process ensured that we gathered the views and minds of many stakeholders in the educational sector to come up with a certain roadmap with regards to some vexed matters and about our education, right from preschool to tertiary and even adult education. And they did do a good job. It was one of the most comprehensive, consultative processes. They did regional consultations. They organized, public meetings, across the country and put together a very comprehensive report with proposals, and it is based on some of those proposals that we are deploying some of the recommendations as contained in the proposals that, were offered. Just last week, for instance, the president launched the free tertiary education for persons with disability. And as we speak, we do know that a number of them are going to benefit free tertiary education. The Student Loan Trust, under the leadership of Dr. Sajida Shiraz, has been doing phenomenal work under the leadership and guidance of Education Minister. In fact, the President even had cause to commend the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, for the fast-paced nature he was moving to implementing most of the significant promises made to the people of Ghana. As we speak, 63,900 teacher trainees have received their 6-month, allowance, and 142,440 students, as at last week, had all received their reimbursement under the No Fee Stress program. These are tangible interventions that are intended to ease the hardships of our students, our learners, and what have you. With the specific issue of this recurring debate as to what should be allowed in our secondary schools, because it's a matter specific to secondary schools. Again, this morning, as I was listening to one of your sister radio stations, the argument was that how were these children managing their hair in primary? Please, when a matter comes, I think we have to be honest about the practicalities of each, educational segment. With primary schools, it is largely a decision of parents whether to keep their children's hair on or not. When I was raising my second girl, saloons were one of the was the worst experiences for me and her. So very soon, I realized that it cannot continue. So I cut her hair. So throughout kindergarten to nursery to kindergarten, she cut her hair multiple times. It was only when she now went to class 3 that she herself, was now, because now she was seeing her other friends with ribbons in their hair, and she was now willing to sit through a salon process. My other last girl, she has always loved to look pretty. And, she went to do her hair for a Soul Week program today. When she came, she said, "Mommy, I'm looking pretty, right?" And I said, "Oh, yes, you're looking pretty." And so by paining me, I said, "No pain, no gain." And beauty is pain. Say, you want to do your hair. So children are so different. And depending on the circumstances and the situation, in primary schools, let's not even just think about urban areas or well-to-do families or middle-income families. If you look at generally in rural educational areas, where do they even have the time to plait their hair? You see that a lot of the children in primary schools in rural areas keep a down cut because it is determined by the environment that they live in. So primary schools are not boarding schools. So if a parent can manage the hair take the child to salon engagements, hire a hairdresser to come home and do the hair. In the primary schools, there are no such restrictions. But let me also quickly tell you that in private schools in Ghana, one of the my children's school that they attend, nursery, you can add attachments to your hair. Lower to upper primary, you cannot add any attachment to your hair. You must braid your own hair. And it must be simple cornrow, whether it's all back, however you design it. It must be. Boys cannot have a certain kind of haircut. This is a private school in Ghana. Okay? You cannot have, your uniform cannot be above a certain length. A boy cannot put a line in their hair after they cut it. So there are minimum standards that schools deploy to ensure a certain standardization to allow for efficient and effective learning. So primary school is not a problem. Secondary school, this is my opinion. For day students, you know, sometimes your own circumstances will determine the choices you make. Even if you allowed it that, oh, you have the option to keep your hair and style your hair in a certain, in a certain way, so that you don't have all kinds of issues in school. People will still choose whether to do it or not to do it. I think the policy here for secondary schools, especially boarders, is to maintain a certain standard to remove some distractions on time. On time more than on anything else. As for the other, whether it's beauty or whether it's a response to the general arguments we hear back that, oh, people love their hair, they should be allowed to style it the way that they make it, makes them beautiful. Some don't like how
that
they
argument
look,
is actually
off.
The argument is not those who are making that argument. I think they just got it.
It's a tangential argument, really. Yeah. So it was because of those comments that the minister made reference to that. But essentially, it is about the management of time. As a result of the regimented nature of boarding school in particular.
No, but Shamima, how do you respond to those who say it was a colonial idea that they used in separating us from the colonial masters, and we seem to have adopted it, and it's just so people see it from a different. I'm not so sure about that. People see it from a different angle.
I'm not so sure about that because nobody needed to use a low haircut to differentiate. The color was already a differentiator. Our skin colors with colonial people was already a differentiator. Our hair texture and colonial hair texture is already a differentiator. So it isn't about how long your kinky hair is or how short your kinky hair is. And that's really traveling way back into time. I don't believe that we shouldn't review certain things because this is how it has always been done. I believe in practicality.
If, for the sake of uniformity, we say that if you want to keep your hair, if the option is to cut it if you want or keep it if you want, if a girl keeps her hair like this, how is that not discipline? How does this breed into
nitty-gritties?
Yeah, because the minister said it. So
we are not. But she's sitting in the classroom with the braided hair. Yeah, is it not? Yeah. So I'm saying that practically, let us sit and agree that the regimented nature of boarding and secondary school life, the additional, you see, when you think of policy, think of policy as it works for the most vulnerable, not those who can, not schools that may, there are private schools, girls' schools, that I know they have salons in the schools and they have dedicated days for girls to go and do all kinds of things to their hair. It's a boarding school, it's a private secondary school, it's a girls' school. They make for those provisions because girls are allowed. Even with the private school that I referred, when you get to sixth form, you are allowed now because you're almost exiting to begin to add extensions to your hair, even that there's a way that you're supposed to do it. So bottom line, the education minister has announced a government program and a government policy based on the various consultations that has happened. And their policy is that at the secondary school level, all students must keep a low haircut. That is the policy. If we want to debate, we may debate about what exceptions, because to every rule, there are exceptions.
Yeah.
There are some children, even with these general rules, exercise or they are allowed exceptions based on some grounds. Some can't cut their hair because of some health reason. Even some have some spiritual reason why they can't cut their hair. Under those particular circumstances, the headmaster, the PTA, is allowed to make exceptions.
So for spiritual reasons, you've made an
I'm saying that there are some people who tell you that a comb cannot touch their hair. Please, we are living in an increasing complex society. I have seen spiritualists show their children on TV. They are attending school. When we did we witnessed the Asante Hima's funeral, we saw a lot of young children who are fetish priests and priestesses. Some you can't put a comb in their hair, but they are in school. When they ask their parents, the parents said they attend school. Should you go and insist when you know clearly, verifiably, in truth, that perhaps we abosomba and per your cultural dictates?
This debate will linger for a while.
It will linger, but this is the policy.
I'm sorry, let me make this point. And the minister, this is not the final time he's going to actually speak on this matter. The issue of the Achimota Magai story. I mean, when he came, I was one of the people who supported Magai and the family. I didn't understand. Why would Achimota allow Westerners to attend the school and keep their hair? Why can't they cut their hair? They didn't come with spiritual reasons. They didn't come with any health condition.
But do you know that
just
some
by the fact that
actually
they are
cut
white,
their hair?
Yes, some do by their choice.
Some actually
Those
do
who
cut
decide not to, they're allowed to be in school. So why is it that it doesn't cut across?
But what you don't know is the reasons for that.
The reason for what?
Because I've told you that some people, you see, I don't want to make excuses for the exceptions, but broadly speaking, there is the general policy, which is everyone keeps low haircuts in secondary school.
Yes.
And there are exceptions
Yes.
based on a number of grounds as agreed upon by the school in collaboration and direction from the Education Ministry or GES, if I may put it that way. Now, you and I cannot tell whether there's a health reason why some of the so-called, and these are minute of the fraction, and let us not use very minute examples to try to make a case.
Hold on,
Let's look at the broad.
It would be so unfair for you to consider it as minute, because
they don't form a majority of the population in the class.
How those exceptions are affecting others that are forced to cut their hair by every means.
That's what
you don't know how it's affecting them.
What do you mean by forced?
They're forced. I mean,
for the child. I'm saying that if your parent does not come to the school with some reason why you shouldn't cut your hair other than, it makes me more beautiful. If it is not a health reason, because if you cut, some have very soft
scalp.
thing. Because some people, as a baby, they breathe through their air. The scalp doesn't close. Some people still have those kinds of situations. So direct sunlight will cause problem. So they need to keep a certain level of hair on their hair to protect the sensitivity of their scalp. You have to come to the school with a tangible reason, based on clear-cut, reasons, whether it is health, whether you are a busumba, comb can't touch your hair. Once you provide that kind of reasoning, you will be exempted. But generally, if parents don't exercise ground, then you as a child cannot say that I just want to keep my hair. So I'm saying that this is the government policy as of today. Secondary school, children will keep a low hair.
But do you agree that Maguire did not give any health reason why he won't cut his hair? It is just by culture, I won't cut the hair.
He said he was a Rastafarian.
Yes.
Rastafarian is a religion.
Yes.
It's a religion. So if his religion says keep his hair, and he made a case for it, and he won that case, that is it. If others feel so strongly about it, they can also explore the path that Maguire explored if their request to be exempted fails. You see, as I'm saying, rights must be enjoyed by all, just as regulations must also be obeyed by all.
Okay.
But in a human environment, it is not straitjacketed, because there will always be peculiar circumstances that would require exceptions. And in this broad-based policy, there are such exceptions for those who have reasons and grounds to seek those exceptions.
Okay. Okay, let me have Laura to come in. Laura to. We haven't touched on the language yet. We're on the hair issue.
In 2025,
teacher trainees,
in 2025, if we are having this kind of conversation, then we have a problem. We have a very big problem in this country. And
let this problem hold. Let me solve one problem and come back to you. I'll be back shortly.
Kids Day the right way, filled with confidence to take on any challenge. Pepsodent Kids contains the right amount of fluoride and sugar acid protection to care for their developing gums and teeth. Grab either orange or strawberry so they brush with the sweet flavor they love morning and evening. Pepsodent Kids, giving your children a bright smile for a brighter future.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enye. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, bibia opama umanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059-6377-172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Abina.
Edi asema, menya oden. O tianti mu amanfo ada. O share me boss obeto phone na mama me phone na say dada. Menya oden.
The most surprised man.
Surprise ben.
Surprise.
Hey, Kofi Papa. Your phone oh, iPhone 13.
Nanya ne.
Ende, me fankofo bi mienu. Amuko circle. Ene ba ko ne ka chena dan for hour. Ono ode ne Ghana card. Eko EBA phone so a. Otua 40% pen e di phone man no a. Da aka no betua ne kakra. Timiti ya me drop na me so me call ho. Ana me kwanya wo phone de brɛ wo.
Oh, Kofi Papa me da say. I'm sure.
Wo EBA phones hadie, yeton iPhones ne ho akade nyina. Ye sanso de ma wholesale. So ye dealer na so pedodo atua. Anase afi na wo hye iPhone business na sia. Braya sia ye, hwehwe ye chira kwan e wo Accra Circle Mall. Any Tiptoe Lane, modern photos in chain. American Monso, ye ni Odor Rice ene di nhwenim. Kumase ye wedum ejekuma brunsan nim. Obetumi so hu ye e wo www.
Wabedum time aso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Mekwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akete say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I tell me. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready. Hey, baby wom. Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At to phone for Arrowfield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
Na mum share na ndadanya waso mosquito coil esudi wo munumu. Na say spray wo dan mu so a. Twan sima adronum ansa na akodan no mu.
Enkratoi FDA agiatum.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night. A night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th. A citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing but divine encounters, miracles, and transformation. On October 31st, meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power, and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isehine, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus because Jesus is our victory. We can't turn back now.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest. The school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution.
Okay, you're welcome back. I still have Shamima Muslim with me and also Laratu Musa Saka with me. Laratu, I was on you, yes.
I said, if 2025 we are having this conversation, then we have a very big problem as a nation. Education has evolved in this country. Gone are the days where predominantly public schools were the go-to institutions for continuous learning. But these days we have a lot of private schools, a lot of international schools within the realm. I never did anything to my hair from when I was a child till after secondary school. My younger sisters did, but were forced to cut it, and they continued after secondary school. Until date, nobody has been able to prove a correlation between keeping hair and discipline and academic performance. We have
maybe because we've not done any research on it.
Well, I don't think anybody has. How many years now? If someone has, it would be nice to read it. But I don't think there's been a serious correlation. But if we are talking about the challenges that have pertained in our schools from colonial days till now, let's go on that tangent. But don't let us just make a blanket statement that girls must keep their cut their hair. Students must cut their hair, but fundamentally it affects girls.
And
it's
boys.
Not a big deal for boys.
Because hair is part of our values.
It is actually now,
And even
because
when
boys
there's-
are having
Shamima,
different
please.
forms of expression
Shamima,
these days,
please.
so
Hair.
it is also an issue for
Shamima,
boys.
please.
Sorry.
We're talking about hair today, right? Because a girl got her hair cut and she's not happy about it. I think I've even seen a post of the father threatening to take the school on. Right.
Of that young girl.
Of that young girl. I've seen something.
It's fake.
It's fake.
Because that
Okay.
was a salon cut. It was not a school cut.
Okay, that's
that
fine.
white girl, it was not cut in the school.
That's fair.
Okay.
If you look at it.
That's fair.
She was carried to the
Yes.
salon.
Whichever
not by the
way, we are
school.
having
Not by
this
the school.
conversation because someone said got cut against their will. When Shamima was talking, she spoke about having religious considerations and all that. Look, if we want to keep our public schools with a certain rules, let's implement them to the latter. But the moment you go giving exceptions, I remember when I was in secondary school, we all used to bath cold water in the morning, but there were some that had to go to the kitchen for hot water. And it was abused by some, just by the mere fact that someone could write a note or their parent could write a note and that, oh, their child cannot bath. But some had genuine reasons, like rheumatism and all those things, and couldn't bath cold water. And we used to be on a hill, so it was pretty cold in the morning. There were some that by virtue of their medical conditions ate special diets. And it was also abused because some didn't like certain foods. So on those days, they go and take special diet and eat. Right. So we're talking about health, we're talking about religious consideration, like no, well, for him, Shamia also talked about Bosomba and all that. There are a lot of considerations by virtue of our circumstances. Right. are we now talking about just with all the evolution or reformation, whatever we choose to say about education in this country? Are we limiting this aspect to just boarding schools or day schools to our parts? For the longest time, day schools were not so common when it came to the secondary level. And we're having this conversation because it doesn't apply at the kindergarten to junior high school level. I don't know about other school, but that's not really an issue from kindergarten to junior high school level. Hair is never a conversation. Certain things are never a conversation. A student is supposed to look neat, presentable, and disciplined. Right. Are we now limiting the hair to it? Because what are the issues in our secondary school? When you were in school, what was the size of your buckets?
The 34?
Most of us had buckets that we could carry. How many public schools, or let's say public senior high schools, can a student get up and bath enough water to clean their hair?
Okay.
So those are the real issues. It has nothing to do with hair. There have been years in this country that we had issues with lice. What causes those things? So if we are talking about these issues in the line of the challenges
that we have
in our secondary schools, let's deal with it whilst we find ways to make them better.
It's fair to consider.
Imagine being on a second floor and you have a bucket. I mean, maybe half of the one that we used to store water. Mm-hmm. How can you carry it? The next time you are going to school, you find a smaller. I had mates who had buckets just a little bigger than pails because of the carrying of the water and all that, because of the temperature of the water in the morning. You just want to get in and get out. You know, so those are the real challenges. It's not just a matter of keeping hair and all that. We take our daughters to me. My daughter is nothing like me. You touch her hair, it's a big deal. She wants to look pretty wow. Saloons are part of our program for the week. If I'm not around, I have to make arrangements for her too. That's what she's used to. It has no bearing on her
performance in school, behavior.
Saying that
it's cuts across.
Okay, but let's look at it. Okay, so let's look at high school level. I like where you started from.
Challenges we have in the school.
Good. Now,
water is
now
a challenge.
when it comes to,
you get it.
Let's take
for time management.
So hold on. Let's take
those
water
things.
for example.
Yes.
She mentioned boarding house.
Water is not a challenge.
I said time is not a challenge.
No, what I'm saying is also time management. There's time
management. That's for time. I don't even want to.
There's a calendar. They are giving a certain
I don't want to consider time as a challenge.
So
I want to consider resources as a challenge. So let's take water, for example. You have boarding school, as she mentioned. Yeah. If you have boarding schools, like when you go to the Western region, for example, mostly they have water shortages in the school. If you're a student and say you're keeping your hair, and you have to be washing the hair. So like my guys I work with, they keep their hair and it's always like in a locked form. And you probably want to have the convenience of washing your hair. Obviously, there's no water. So you're going to keep that hair for about a week where there's no water. And then it's going to gather dust, lice, all kinds of... So you'll be moving about with your hair smelling.
So at the end of the day, you become an inconvenience to other students.
Exactly. So that can also, can also be considered as part of the discipline.
Those who have long hair or those who have short hair. If I have short hair, would this be a problem?
No, that's the point I'm making.
That's the point we are making.
No, that's the point we're all making.
It's not just a matter of cutting. No.
We're saying that
that's not
we're looking at the challenges.
It's not just a matter of
so she said
that
if you consider the challenges
we have in our school, keeping long hair.
Yes.
So there are practical challenges of keeping long hair.
Exactly.
That's what she's agreeing to now.
Yes.
Okay.
But I never disagree to.
She didn't disagree. That's why she started from a different.
Did we not start by saying that there are fundamental practical challenges?
Okay,
Anna.
Okay.
But you seem to dismiss dismissed those arguments.
Dismiss which arguments?
Okay, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Thank you.
About the real challenges.
Okay,
So
I'm glad all of you agree.
No, but it's not just a matter to consider.
It's not just a matter of.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I didn't quite understand. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
It's not just a matter of tables and chairs. It's not just a matter of equipping
I want
labs.
to look beautiful.
It's not a matter of just wanting to look beautiful, but the circumstances you find yourself in. But if we go into the realm of religion, we go into the realm of all those things, then we need to be careful.
Because can you imagine if,
for
instance,
school,
everybody
the two of us sitting here are Muslims, right? You're supposed to pray from year 7 or age 7. You're supposed to pray 5 times a day.
Some schools don't allow
Some schools don't allow it. Are we going to have a conversation about that?
We are. It's an ongoing conversation.
So let's be careful how we try to
expand,
tone down the challenge, the real, and just make it about, oh, you're supposed to cut your hair, you're supposed to cut your... We cut our fingernails to look neat so that we don't have dirt in them and all that. Those were years before, those were considerations. Your teacher checks your fingernails. They'll use a ruler to hit it. So what if someone decides that by virtue of my religion, I'm not supposed to cut my fingernails?
Yeah.
All those things. So we really need to deal with the issues.
That is where where I actually disagree to a certain extent. We have to be careful. The exceptions, Shamima. Yes. Okay. We have to be careful. The exceptions we're granting some students on based on spiritual. How do I even, as a school?
Hold on. I am saying that. So here, Loretta this morning told us, even in their time, that when there's a rule, there's always exceptions.
Yes.
So
those exceptions are always abused.
In human, so because of the abuse of the exceptions,
because you're talking about numbers.
Are you saying that because of abuse of exceptions, there should be no exceptions? That's what I want to be clear. There should never be any exceptions.
No.
So please, let's stick to the foundation.
But she didn't say that.
So you're not
saying
there
should be no
because
rules
every rule lends itself to abuse. But it will not discount the rule in the first place. So here you are not arguing that
solving the challenges.
But so suggest how to make it more stringent so that the exceptions are not abused. Because let's not confuse the watching public, because you seem to be reprobating and approbating on this issue. In one breath, you recognize there are exceptions, and they've always been exceptions. There were exceptions during your time. There were exceptions in our education since times immemorial, because it's a human institution. It's a human institution that is bringing together people and children from so many different backgrounds who have various forms of conditions who still retain the right to an education. And so you must make provision for exceptions. So if I'm hearing you, nobody is...
Shouldn't it be a choice?
Shouldn't what be a choice?
Shouldn't keeping your hair or not keeping it a choice if that's the tangent you're going?
Make your argument.
Why don't we commit?
Why don't we commit? You are being very political this morning.
What is political about
Laura, to state clearly, are you for children keeping their hair in school or not? State it clearly and let's understand you.
No.
You to tell the public that I am for Ghanaian children in secondary school to keep their hair long.
Ghanaian children in secondary school.
But this confusion commentary you are making, it doesn't make...
You are confusing yourself.
Okay,
so let me finish my point.
No, she didn't learn when you came in.
How many years have we been having this conversation? Probably since the inception of education in this country. Over the years, what have we been trying to do? Try to improve learning outcomes and try to improve the infrastructure. Right. Water, which is the fundamental thing to keeping yourself neat, has always been a challenge. It's a big challenge.
And now we should use buckets to wash hair.
In our secondary schools, right? In our secondary schools. Why are we having this conversation about not keeping hair? It's just for the sake of it. That's why I started by saying that for me, I haven't seen any study that explicitly talks about a correlation between discipline and all
keeping
that.
her.
Like you asked earlier.
Okay, who has made that argument?
I can't make my argument.
No, who has
you
made
sit
that
here and say you
argument
can use
about
your own words you choose to use. You've made your argument. I'm making my argument, and you want to make it seem as if my argument that I'm making just because you don't agree with it.
I'm saying that who has made the argument that there's a correlation between intelligence and
she's only making her point. Allow her. You
Maybe
just
if
make
you
your
listen
point.
to me, if you listen to me, you are
for what purpose?
Please.
Hey, madam.
Who did you?
Who said true?
When?
I heard it right now.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Maybe because of the exchange you heard.
You're really hearing a lot of things today. Pay attention. Nobody.
You're hearing a
everything
lot
we
of
are
things
saying
today.
here. Exactly.
Okay,
Everything we are saying
actually
here
not
is in
listening
the
to your own
interest
self.
of our nation. It's in the interest of our education
Okay, so the point
system.
you're making
get
is
it?
that you don't
That's
have
why
a
I
prob-
said.
so- sorry.
I don't have a problem
yes.
if the circumstances in the school, the child can keep their hair. I don't have a problem. That's why I said that I never kept my hair until after secondary school.
Okay.
I never had anything done to my hair until after secondary school.
Yeah.
That is me. It was a choice. My younger sisters did. But they cut it when you got to secondary school. Because most parents don't even want to go and be talking about these
creates
rules.
inconvenience.
But we've become very, how do I say it? Things have evolved so much. People understand what their rights are and all that. We have a lot of rights, human rights conversations these days. Some people think that it's my right to keep my hair.
You remember the
That's
argument, the debate on the hijab?
Yes.
For Muslim girls in
Yes.
schools? That also
We've also
is
had
there.
a debate on
We
some
can have the
schools-
arguments, we can have the exclusions stretched all the way.
Yes. We've also had arguments of people, some schools not allowing students to pray. It's there, right? But what's the rule in the school? You have a timetable. Like I always used to say, there's a timetable for every school. If you find yourself within a different faith in the school, and you need to practice, you need to be able to fit yourself in the timetable and still fulfill your obligations without being a distraction to them. But the thing is that some insist that the fact that your religion is not what the school is based on, even if you find time to practice your religion, you shouldn't do it. Those are some of the complications. But what I'm saying is that why don't we face our real challenges? It's like we are always holding on to the leaves rather than dealing with the root cause. You think that if kids will get up in our school, which will be a long time coming anyway.
So do you support children keeping their hair or students keeping their hair?
I don't care. For me, it's not an issue for me. If they keep it and keep it well. I don't know about now.
If you want to keep it and keep it well.
Keep it well.
No, because it has become a national concern
concern
where the minister has even come in to what's it called? Send a directive across to all schools to practice it. It's a short hair and nothing else.
I don't know about now, but the training colleges, they had a standard way of keeping their hair.
Yes.
If you don't want to cut it, there was a way, I think it was cornrow or something. They allowed specific ways. I don't know now, right? How did they work? Because teachers were supposed to conform to certain standards. Yes, it's a rule, but you are giving exceptions. How far can these exceptions be stretched? How far can these exceptions be stretched? Right. I don't have an issue because I don't see the correlation between keeping your hair and all that. But if you can do that,
okay.
We cut our nails.
Okay. Let's keep my nails short. Okay. Let's deal with
these policies are in place because the general majority of stakeholders are in agreement on this policy. Parents are a primary stakeholder in what happens to their children or their child's hair. And I'm saying that to the extent that this has worked over the years is indication that many parents are in agreement that perhaps a 3-year secondary education is not going to take anything away from
the child
because you have
cut your hair.
So again,
let's
as we move on, if there comes a time where the majority sentiment, because we're dealing with the minority who may want to keep if the majority sentiment becomes that.
What makes you think this is the majority?
Okay, let me read a few messages. Someone says that I perfectly agree.
Exactly.
Well, okay, hold on.
You just said that's your.
I'm sorry. I perfectly agree with the education minister.
I told you.
Hold on. I perfectly agree with the education minister. The schools are not for beauty pageants, but to acquire knowledge. If you are a parent and don't want your child's hair to be cut, send him or her to a private school.
I'm saying that. Go and make the case.
Honorable Amidu Chana says that students must appear decent in hairstyles, and hairstyle is parts. Simple.
You know, I'm not bogged down by the word
but
decent.
Hairstyle is not
exactly.
But hairstyle is not
bogged down by
the decision.
Hairstyle is not
bogged
down.
Can I just make a point?
Yes.
I'm not bogged down by decent. I am bogged down by the practicality, convenience.
Okay.
Convenience is my operative word. And time commitment is my operative word. Logistics is my operative concern. And we have all agreed here that there are so many challenges in our secondary schools, including water, that what we don't want to encourage is to now have to deal with wash days that copious amounts of water needs to be used to wash hair. And so, again, as we have stated, dear stakeholders, parents, school managers, government, as the education dialogue came out with recommendations, we are implementing the recommendations of the majority view. And the majority view is that at the secondary school level, let all students maintain a low haircut.
I strongly support the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Jiso, on the stance regarding haircuts, molding in schools. Those criticizing him are simply driven by jealousy and hatred.
Let's not go there.
Okay. All right. Let's deal with briefly on the language for instruction in school.
Again, I've seen people try to distort the message. The internal logic of that message is that if you are a teacher in a school made up of learners that predominantly speak a certain language, their local language, and so if you are a teacher in Wa, the understanding is that perhaps you either speak Wale or Sisala, depending on the location of the school and even the language of your teacher. You see, when there's a policy, there's an application of that policy. And it is those at the point that are able to implement that policy that can obey that policy. So it's illogical to say that, how about teachers who don't speak the language? If you are a teacher that you find yourself in the classroom that you don't speak the predominant language, you will have to teach in English. That is the practicality of it. Until such time as GES is able to deploy teachers that speak. In Accra here, there is a shortage of Dangbe teachers. They know it. So there are schools in Ga land here in Accra that teach Twi as the local language because we don't even have enough Ga teachers. So obviously this policy to use the mother tongue of the students will not apply. In urban centers where the students would come from various parts of the country and would probably speak various, languages. And even the worrying trend now is that the young people today are not learning their mother tongue. It is really like English. In those particular situations, the predominant language that is understood by all is what the teacher, that is what will be the primary language of instruction. Now, a teacher in their training is taught to look out for the peculiarities of the learners in their classroom. So, for instance, if I know that you speak Twi, and I can speak Twi as a teacher, and I'm explaining a concept that you don't understand, it is the teacher's duty to now communicate in the language that the child understands, that the teacher also understands, to break down the concepts. Because even though classroom sizes may be large, teaching is supposed to be individualistic. even though you stand and teach a subject, you must be interested in the learning journeys of each student in your class, as much as is humanly possible. So when you go to some communities, it is not a problem. The teacher speaks the local language, and the majority, if not all, of the learners in that classroom also speak the local language. In that case, whereas you would teach in English, you would explain concepts also in the local language. So let's not distort good intentioned policies. He gave an example of how a teacher was using English to teach, and the child said, "Teacher Mpacho Katri Kakrana Menti Asie." The child didn't even need to have said that. Because, as I said earlier, it is a determined fact that a child will learn quicker in the mother tongue than he would if you introduce a foreign language too quickly to the child. And that's why, because even in homes now, we are not speaking our local languages to the children, they are now losing out on even their local language.
China, you know that English teaching profession is one of the highest or the most sought after in China.
Yes,
that's
now,
because they don't use English language to teach the
so let me
students
tell you, a lot of their older leaders who studied in Chinese still do not speak English. But look at where they have taken their country to. So now a lot of the English is becoming a subject that is taught. But even if you went to China for an undergrad or a postgrad or a PhD, you are expected to learn Chinese as a subject course. And you must pass it to graduate, as some of the students shared with us. So please, it is a good intended policy. And it is for the GES to see how it implements this policy. Look, in Finland, a teacher stays in the classroom, so the students have the same classroom teacher for at least 6 years. For at least 6 years. You cannot be a basic school teacher without high qualification. And that's how their learning outcomes is what they are. We have lots of lessons from other UNICEF. All these things are data-backed programs and policies, and encouraged, so that we can catch up with the early grade math and English assessment. Because if a child is not able to understand the concepts, it becomes difficult for them. So nobody is saying that replace English with local language. But instruct also your subject in local language, especially when you know that the students you are teaching are challenged.
Okay. So let me read this.
And this is basic. It's from kindergarten, early grade, kindergarten to nursery to kindergarten. By the time they get to lower primary, if we're doing things right, they should be able to catch up. Because now we have, we do have a problem of reading and literature generally. At the university, at secondary schools, some cannot even string any good grammatically correct, sentence. So that is problematic. And it speaks to the quality of our teaching, and teaching materials right from the basic level. So please.
I want to read this one. Laura Nweke, good morning to you. But he says that, greetings, Annie, the issue of low cuts is a historical fact. The message was not just about skin color. It was about making sure that everything aid breaking the spirit and destroy the self-worth of self-esteem of the colonized. But this is true, both with the European and Arab colonizations. So the policy is clear and has to be followed, but the spirit behind it has to be investigated. That's his point. And I think I agree with that. Samuel Brian says that, Annie, as a country, we major in the minors. Even my daughters, who wear their natural locks, were met with unnecessary attitudes at their new schools. Samuel Brian Boabing is the one that is. I don't know, we have a certain perception about locks, about the natural hair.
Certain style of
and
hair.
that is also what we have to try and
I have natural hair.
We need to get used to that. And I think for me, that has been
No, it's not even about the natural hair.
my
the
campaign
dreads
point.
and all those.
That has been my campaign.
the
my
locks.
campaign point. You know, as a Pan-Africanist, let's love that, and let's not be too, I don't know, hard on ourselves. Because it looks like most of us, when you see a young boy, a young girl trying to keep their hair locked or natural,
yeah, they are
we still
rascals.
have that kind of, I don't know.
And you may not even get a job.
You
Even
know,
as an adult.
yes. We still have that. So
I mean,
those of
ones I
us with
agree
the
we
voice,
must,
exactly, are trying
challenge
to
those
push
mindsets.
that agenda.
Where we are
That
starting
is
it
why
from.
we think
Exactly.
that we don't
We need
say
to build
let
it
the
up.
girls come to school wearing a wig like I'm wearing, or doing all kind of beauty things. But let's also
So it's perhaps the communication must be an empowering communication that focuses
Not to
on
be
your
before
convenience,
conversation.
you know, the convenience, your time management, you know, to make school life easier for you, because they know, even with Afro, you know, as an adult, how difficult it is to, when you have to wash, you need to stretch. Dandruffs are worrying you because it is not an easy thing to manage an Afro hair. It's difficult.
That's why you just don't say that it's a rule, just follow it. No. You see, the truth is that
That's why you just don't say it's a rule, just follow it.
You also have to let them understand.
So the schools need to
let them
explain all
understand.
of that, so that they come into it with an embracing, you know, approach more, with
a more loose hair, as the whites have. People think that they also don't have similar problems.
Oh, they have similar problems.
They do. They have dandruff. They have all kinds of things. You know, but
brittleness.
Because of colonization, we're losing the love for ourselves, including the skin color, including our hair type. And it is also what we have to be careful about. And it all starts from the childhood.
Please, you people now are buying human wigs to put on your hair on a daily basis, and you say we shouldn't talk about you adults. So
no, we're not saying don't talk about it.
Break. The children,
we're not saying
buying human hair, putting it. They are going to temples and gathering people who have sacrificed their hair.
Now why are you taking this conversation?
She's overstretching. Allow her.
Why are you taking this conversation? Now who is getting
No. She said colonization. You want to blame colonization, whatever it is you want to blame this morning. And I'm saying that it is this multi-billion-dollar industry that is being powered by the African woman.
It's also because you don't build the girl's identity from the scratch.
So
they lose their identity as they grow up.
Exactly. No, they are following you, the parents. Following who? If you know better, because you cannot continue. If you know better, do better. And set the right example to your children.
Parents today.
And invest in their self-worth and self-belief.
Parents today who are looking all glamorous with borrowed hair or with however you want to put it.
With dead people's hair. Yes. Some are dead people's hair. Yes. I hope you know.
Yes.
They go and buy dead people's
parents
hair.
who are what they are today.
No, but
suffered. I'm sorry. I want to make the point. They suffered the same thing growing up. And that is why they are an example to their children. So when we have an opportunity,
very wrong assumptions.
No, I'm not making an assumption.
That
it's a reality.
They suffered what?
They suffered the same thing.
What?
In terms of what not being taught their values, how to love themselves. It's the same thing they suffered. That's why you see.
We are very terrible
if
about
today we have a generation
that
probably have more insights and are opening their eyes, let's all be in the campaign. I'm guilty. Everybody else is guilty.
But look at the struggle we even have with wearing prints.
Yes. You know, that conversation can be stretched all the way.
From
mental slavery.
Shamima, what you are wearing, is it African?
What
you are wearing, is it African?
Yes, it's African. Kokonsa girl.
She was on my hair. You see, she was on my hair.
But
you too, I can be on your
shoes. You want to challenge me about? No, I wear 99% of my wardrobe is African.
As I sit here today, 50%
you know that
once
in a while,
50% of my
the messages I'm receiving very interesting.
All help.
I wear African.
What am I wearing?
It's only today I've seen you wearing African.
I wear more African print than
So let it be known that we don't want the children to be looking scruffy, dirty, whatever, in discipline in school. some of us, I don't know about others, but some of us, we are also just pushing.
Now, the areas of indiscipline are not even around issue of hair, but it's issues of behaviors. It's issues of what they are consuming. It's what they are consuming now. They are taking they are taking ammunition to school. They are taking knives to school. They are killing each other. They are engaged in all kinds of serious matters. So the PTA return is very important. But even as we also say that, let me just add that we don't expect head teachers to begin to abuse this, PTA system, because there are guidelines to what PTA can do. Can I just finish this thought? To what PTAs can do and what school management can do. So please do not allow this, confidence that the minister is reposing and the power he wants to give back to parents, because you are key stakeholders, school managers, parents, and then government. We are the stakeholders that transform and reform our education. So please do not see it as another avenue to extort or to distort or to abuse.
As they're already doing.
Because if you do, the law will catch up with you very stringently. Please.
Okay.
Please.
But you see, Annie.
Yes.
You see, when Shamima was making the point, we're having this conversation fundamentally because of the choice of words of the minister. Right?
Yes.
He said it was compulsory. Yeah. Shamima sat here and talked about exceptions, right? We've spoken about this and all that. She's also come back to concede that the messaging is also
the communication.
But if you are talking,
I'm not conceding. I'm adding that yes, from what you're saying,
can I also finish my thought? Can I also finish my thought? Right. Now we are sitting here talking about the comeback of parent-teacher association. Parents, they don't let us just limit it to Parents-Teacher Association, right? Parents are with their children from when they are born. How many years?
No, but she mentioned that because it was a major happening with the schools where the parents were taking out. Teachers were taking out of the Parent-Teacher Association was now Parents Association.
So you want to say parents were not involved?
It's a major policy that they brought back.
No, but major parents. So you want to say parents were not involved in the education of their children? Is PTA the only way parents are involved in their children?
No, but PTA was scrapped.
I'm not saying it was the only way. Please, can I make my point? Can I make my point, please? The thought of PTA, yes, PTA is back. We've seen the issues that PTA has brought. Yesterday, I saw a very sad post of someone saying they couldn't go to school because of a 500 cedi PTA fee. Those are the issues that PTA has brought. But if for nothing at all, the report card that your ward gets, who are those comments for? The class teacher makes a comment. The school makes a comment.
No, but
our parents not brought in. Annie, please. I don't have a problem with the bringing back of parent-teacher associations. It's not a problem. But don't let us seem as if without parent-teacher associations, parents are not involved in the upbringing of their children. When the children go on vacation, where do they go to? When the children go on vacation, where do they go to? Do they live in the school? Yes, fantastic. You brought PTA back. You think it's another way of dealing with some of these issues. But don't let us seem as if without parent-teacher associations, parents are not involved in their... Come again.
We're not talking about
the
separation of powers. We're talking about the teamwork between parents and teachers.
Who are paying the dues and all that. So don't make it sound as if without the parent-teacher association being in existence, parents are not involved.
So what was the logic behind scrapping PTA? What was the logic behind it?
It was what? Teacher association to
Parent
do what?
Teachers
to also
Association.
help on every circumstance.
No, what was the logic behind the scrapping?
What logic
was the
behind
logic
what?
behind scrapping
What is the logic
PTA?
of bringing back PTA and making them pay fees?
She's explained.
What is the
She
logic
has
behind
explained.
bringing back PTA and parents not being able to pay the fees and their children at all? What's the logic? So don't let us reduce the conversation. At the end of the day, what are we looking at? We are looking at children coming out.
Okay.
Now let me go to the language bits.
Okay, quickly, we have to take a break.
Yes, we have to take a break. It's not time.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
time. But I've been given some extra time.
Okay.
One of my team members is a Mawuli, and I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know. So he brought me Kiki, my guy. So he brought me Mawuli, whatever. But I know Nisecans are not going to be happy with me. But if you have the cloth, bring it. I don't have Nisecan cloth.
And I thought we were taking a break.
So yeah, I'm taking a break. So who's playing that for us? All right.
But my hand was made strong.
I love the show today.
By the hand of the Almighty. Yesterday, Rabbi sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the